Hi, everybody. Mitch here. Thanks for joining me today. Today, I'm going to talk about age verification laws and internet access. Let me show you a picture here, real quick, if I can. There we go. Oops, wrong tab. So you can see here by this is very colorful chart that there are laws in almost every state, and on occasion the laws have been enjoined, or the injunction has been denied, or the bill has been vetoed. But this is, I mean, every state is doing something, and every state is doing something different. So, given that, you probably live in one state, that's probably pretty easy to deal with. But let's think you run a website and you are not exempt from the law. And I remember that just because you run a website and your business is in, pick a state, like where I am in Colorado, that doesn't mean that you don't have to comply with all these other state laws. That's the challenge with a lack of what's called federal preemption, where federal law trumps state law. But that doesn't exist today. And so today you're complying with all the different laws, and they're all different. So, and some of these states have what's called a private right of action, which allows you to go sue the website owner if they think they were harmed by something. And also, and I think I can find the right thing here. Yeah, this is the right thing. A lot of these laws are not going against adult websites. They're going against social media. They're going against games. So, for example, in Arkansas, it says, and here's one where there's a revenue, right? So that gets rid of the small guys. But it says that you have to verify new users using a third party, which is an attempt to isolate the fact that you have to identify yourself from the actual website with the content to social media. So this has nothing to do with adult content, although some people would say that social media is adult content, right? California has a law that requires website owners to design websites in a way that's age appropriate. That's been a real challenge. Let's see here. Florida had a law that prohibited anybody from under 16 to use social media, period, and required social media platforms to verify the age of user. Well, we know there's a lot of under 16 year old kids who use social media. The governor vetoed that. They came up with an even better law, which says that instead of this being 16, it's now 14. Although if you're 14 or 15, you can make a social media account if you have parental consent. Now, I am sure that the kids are going to collude with each other and say, I'm your parent, you're my parent. And there's really going to be very difficult for the social media sites to figure out, who's really related to who. I think that's really a challenge, this parental consent. And the kids being much more tech savvy than the legislators, they just say, well, I'll just install a VPN software on my phone or my computer and get around this law. So, and there have been a bunch of lawsuits. The lawyers are definitely winning in all this. There is a law in Georgia which requires, again, the operators of social media platforms to verify the age of users. Again, this is not adult content. This is social media, and require people under 16 to have a parental consent, whatever that means. However you do that. Louisiana has a similar law. The Mississippi has a law similar to that. In fact, Mississippi's law is so draconian that the Twitter alternative, Blue Sky, just said we're going to go block anybody from Mississippi, meaning that people in Mississippi who want to get to Blue Sky need to install a VPN software in order to go do that. I don't think anybody's going to argue that the internet is a place where there's really bad things going on, and social media certainly being one of them. if what you're trying to do is protect kids from free speech, i.e., whether you're on the right or the left, doesn't matter. Each one of you says that the other one is blocking my speech. Just keeping kids off the internet is a great way to deal with that. So, I don't know what the end of this is. I know it's just a bit of a mess right now. If you're a parent trying to understand this, it's probably really hard. You're going to need to educate yourself and try to figure out what the laws look like. There's bills in virtually every state, and in many states, 2, 3, 4 bills that are involved. So it's not going to get any easier for you as a parent, unfortunately. I like to say it is. And then you have to go explain to your kids why they can't talk to their friends on social media when they could last week. So it's just a bit of a mess, and not going to get any simpler anytime soon. So stay tuned. I'm sure I'll have an update on this over time. And all I can say is good luck trying to manage this if you're a parent. Thanks for listening.